1 FM.
Burby's 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio. Kaieteur Radio, keeping you informed.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Burby's 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
A pleasant good day to you and welcome to your news at noon right here on Kaieteur Radio 99.1, 99.5 FM. I am Joshua Van Slegman. Thank you for joining us and in our headlines today. Guyana should look to Mexico for crucial lessons on regulating oil sector, according that should be North American as North American nation did. This is according to an IDB report. Election COI panel to be drawn from CARICOM, OAS and the Commonwealth, according to President Ali. In the gruesome murder of the Burby Steens, foreign investigators arrive in Guyana to assist with case. And Winston Brasterton fails to establish case of libel against Kaieteur News, according to lawyer. Get the details of these and much more, including today's front page comment when the news returns.
School forever, and you've done baking, drawing, schoolwork, and played Ring of Roses about 100 times. We've all been under some strain lately, but let us embrace our children. They're under strain too. Let's show them more love, patience, and care. Let's help to build their resilience in these trying times. Not just today or tomorrow, but for the future. Their future.
A message from the Child Care and Protection Agency, Ministry of Human Services and Social Security, and UNICEF.
Thank you for joining us. Before we bring to your news in details, let's bring to you today's front page comment that can be found in today's Kaieteur News, titled, Exxon is a freeloader. Exxon is saddling the Guyanese people with hundreds of millions of US dollars in pre-contract cost. Even before Guyana earned a single dollar from the company's operations, it was billed a $460 US for pre-contract costs up to 2015 and another $500 million US dollars for the period between 2015 and 2017, making a grand total of $960 million US dollars. To add insult to injury, no Guyanese can verify what Exxon is doing, 100+ miles off our coast. Yet, Exxon has billed us, and we have agreed to pay almost $1 billion US dollars for things we cannot verify. Why would our government agree to pay such cost? Having given away the Kaieteur and Kanji blocks in a secret deal to mysterious friends, it is as if we are now paying Exxon through these exorbitant pre-contract costs and to take blocks off of our hands. Exxon, it is ruthlessly taking advantage of Guyana's lack of experience in the oil industry, and they're doing this with the convenience of our political leaders. If we continue this way, the oil may mean prosperity, but tragedy. That should be the oil may not mean prosperity, but tragedy. And let's bring to you today's news in details. Today's newscast is sponsored by Amerlander Milk. While Guyana is considered to be in a most privileged position given the quality of its reserves, securing the most value from that resource would not be possible without effective regulation. The Inter-American Development Bank spoke in this regard in a special report called Traversing a Slippery Slope, Guyana's Oil Opportunity. The bank recommended that Guyana take note of the many ways Mexico was able to transform its oil industry into one that is effectively regulated for the benefit of its people. In 2013, it was agreed that the sector would open up and allow for foreign interests, but not until Mexico implemented a sector-wide reform. After several legal changes, the IDB noted that Mexico, as part of the energy reform, strengthened several areas with well-defined independent mandates and proper separation of spheres of influence to avoid conflicts of interest. We tell you now that last weekend, Minister of Education Honorable Priyak Manichan visited Baramita, Matthews Ridge, Port Kaituma, Mabaruma and Maruka in Region 1. The ministry revealed that the visit were part of the awareness campaign to let stakeholders know the new methods of dispensing education amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Public schools remain closed with some students accessing teachers via online classes. However, thousands of students, especially in the hinterland, have no internet access. The idea was to have a hybrid system in place using a mix of internet and learning materials. We tell you now that 9 of the 10 administrative regions of Guyana have elected chairpersons with a number of notable changes. A number of faces have remained, with a woman now in charge of Regional Democratic Council in Region 2, that is the Essequibo Coast. Region 2, 4, 7, and 10 are the regions with new chairpersons. However, elections for a chair for Region 8 was not possible, as 2 councillors reportedly tested positive for the COVID-19 and are currently in quarantine. Returning for Region 1 is Brenton Ashley. He has been around for 3 elections now for the People's Progressive Party Civic. Region 2 will boost the one administrative district that will have a woman as chair. She has been identified as Vilma Audrey De Silva. In Region 3, Audine Isham will replace the long-serving Julius Faber. Former Army Captain Daniel Siram, a candidate for the coalition, will chair the RDC in Region 4. Taking back Region 5 is Vikan Ramphal. In Region 6, businessman David Amargan will be retained his seat as chair. That East Berbice district is a critical one for the People's Progressive Party Civic. Region 7 has a new chair. He has been identified as Kenneth Williams. Brian Alicock, who is familiar with that border area of Region 9, has been given the nod to return. Region 10's new chair is no other than Darren Adams, who was on the frontline faces of the coalition campaign in Region 10. David Amargan, back as Region 6 chairman, and Zemal Hussein is vice chairperson. Vikan Ramphal and Rion Peters will head Region 5. You're listening to your news at noon right here on Kaieteur Radio 99.1, 99.5 FM. We tell you now that the panel for the Commission of Inquiry into the protracted March 2nd, 2020 elections may very well emerge from those organizations that championed for 5 months for Guyana's democracy. This was revealed by President Irfan Ali. Ali reiterated his commitment to ensuring that a COI is conducted into what occurred both during and after those elections to ensure that the authors were held accountable for the role they played. Regarding who would fill the panel, President Ali said that between the OAS, Commonwealth and CARICOM, he thinks it is a good determination for a COI panel that could be made. We tell you now that the New Movement is a political party comprised of medical doctors. It's supporting the demands of health workers who have been appealing to the government for better wages and risk allowances. The New Movement comments follow after hundreds of healthcare workers from Georgetown Public Hospital and the West Demerara Regional Hospital and the Linden Hospital Complex staged protests for better salaries, working conditions, and even risk allowances last week. Citizens have voiced their concerns over the New Movement silence following the healthcare workers' strike. However, the New Movement executive Dr. Ashiki Soon indicated that they do not want the health workers' concerns to become politicized. You're listening to your news at noon right here on Kaieteur Radio. Coming up after the break, gruesome murder of Berbice teen. Foreign investigators arrive in Guyana to assist with case. In the coalition giveaway of prime East Coast lands, third developer returns 5 acres to government. And 19 libel suit filed against Kaieteur News, Winston Brassiton failed to establish case of libel against Kaieteur News, according to defense lawyer. Thank you very much for joining us right here on Kaieteur Radio. We continue with your news in detail. A team consisting of 5 investigators from the Regional Security System arrived yesterday to assist the Guyana Police Force in finding the killers of the brutally murdered Berbice teens Harris Singh, Joel and Isaiah Henry. The force's PRO Assistant Commissioner Royston Andrews Jr. revealed that the foreign team is here following a memorandum of understanding signed between the government and the Caribbean Community Implementation Agency for Crime and Security. We had reported that the official request was made after a team of 75 ranks turned up empty-handed following an 8-hour-long search for evidence in the Cotton Tree backdams. Quorum Group Incorporated, the developer which plans to construct a Holiday Inn hotel at Ogle East Coast Demerara, has relinquished the 5 acres of prime lands allocated to it in what is being dubbed as Mad Rush deal by the previous APNU AFC administration. The company is now the 3rd developer that has opted to return lands to NISIL to allow for a cleaner and transparent process. This comes after it was discovered that the previous regime, through former Finance Minister Winston Jordan, vested the lands without due process. We tell you now that police have apprehended a driver who fled the scene Sunday last after slamming his car into a 6-year-old boy on the Non-Pearl East Coast Demerara Public Road. The child is currently hospitalized at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation in a stable condition. According to police report, the child was struck down around 17 hours 30 while trying to cross the road. The man, who hailed from Lebanon in Tension, claimed that he was about to pass a shop when he noticed the child running in path of his vehicle. He told police ranks that he applied brakes but could not avoid the accident. Eyewitness said that the man did not assist but instead fled the scene. And finally, at this time, Attorney-at-Law Nigel Hughes has said that the libel suit brought against Kaieteur News by former head of NISIL Winston Brassiton has not been established. The lawyer made this conclusion in a court yesterday following an intense cross-examination of Brassiton, who brought some 19 lawsuits against the Kaieteur News over allegations of defamation. Several of the claims were brought against the newspaper and its former editor-in-chief Adam Harris over contents of Dem Boys' column, of which Brassiton said caused his integrity and character to be called into question. Justice Corbin Lincoln is expected to provide over 3 more trials in the relation to the 19 libel claims this week. And with that, we've come to the end of your news at noon. Let's remind you to get the full details of these stories and much more in today's Kaieteur News by picking up a copy at a newsstand near you, or head across to our website at kaieteurnewsonline.com. Stay with us. Coming up shortly is your COVID-19 updates. And now for your COVID-19 updates. According to Worldometer, the COVID-19 cases stands at 33,639,775, with 1,700,972 deaths. To date, there are 24,946,839 recovered cases. Former Minister of Public Health Walter Lawrence is of the firm belief that persons with COVID-19 being isolated within their homes are a major contributing factor to the surge in case. This was stated by the former minister in a telephone interview with Kaieteur Radio yesterday. Lawrence explained that many of the persons in home isolation live in homes that are not conducive to standard requirements needed for home isolation. Most of them don't have self-contained rooms and other things, so they are forced to interact with their household. Lawrence said she highlighted that adherence to social distancing guideline is somewhat of a challenge in Guyana presently, as many persons would still visit those in isolation. She emphasized the need for these persons in home isolation to be kept in institutional isolation, as it can decrease the amount of contact they would have with other people and thus curb further spread of the virus. And according to CNN, more than 1 million people across the world have died since the start of the coronavirus pandemic, according to the Johns Hopkins University in that university's tally. And President Donald Trump formally announced a plan to disperse the 150 million rapid coronavirus tests first promoted by the White House in August. And the United States could see an climb in the COVID-19 case as a fall as winter sets in health that the health experts have warned. The country has surpassed 7 million coronavirus cases on Friday last. And that is your COVID-19 update for you at this time, brought to you by Kaieteur Radio.
Amerlander Milk. Milk made with fresh cow's milk from certified dairy farmers with 130 years experience. We produce over 1.3 billion liters annually. We work with quality standards that far exceed statutory requirements. Our milk is not made from milk solids. Amerlander. Real milk, pure and natural. Available at stores nationwide.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's Newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your dollar grow. Call us on 225-8465 or 226-8210 today.